Hi team, Khalif here from YesHello. Today we're going to talk about our YesHello latest platform updates. We're going to talk about updates in snippets, update in the some broadcasting, updates in the day-to-day, some big things, some smaller things, and how it's going to affect your day-to-day and your team's day-to-day customer service processes. All right, stay tuned. We're going to get started right now. Intro. Welcome back. Yes, my name is Khalif. I'm the founder and CEO of YesHello. At YesHello, we help SMEs and small businesses just like yours how to streamline customer service, how to be a modern customer service team today working from home, some working at the office, how to collaborate as a team to create a 5-star customer service. All right. So specifically in this video, there's been some updates on our platform, and I'm going to go through with you one by one. What are they? How it's going to affect you? How to use it, and all those stuff. Right? I'm also going to give you some other resources if you want to get more info on specific things. I'm going to share with you some links. I'm going to share with you some resources. So stay tuned. We're going to get started right now. All right. So if you're in our YesHello platform, this is the, of course, the reporting module. You want to go and if you want to take a look at our latest updates, you want to go and check out our knowledge base. So where to find any information if you are in our platform is to go to the question mark down here, click on help, and that will bring you to our knowledge base. All right. So in the knowledge base, if you want to go and see our latest updates, you can go to change log right there, and the top one is our latest 8.3 new shortcuts feature, more variables and workflow conditions, and tons of tweaks. So this is what I'm going to cover with you step by step, some of our fancy new updates. Very exciting. Update number 1. So let's make this a little bit bigger so that everybody can see it. Okay. So update number 1 are new shortcuts. Okay, so a shortcut is a workflow that has been created with the newly introduced shortcut trigger. It can be initiated in the messages module, allowing platform users to launch workflows during conversations with contacts without leaving the module. So what does this mean? So this means that if we go to our messages module, and this is where we always chat with someone, it means that we can manually start and trigger any workflow. So there are two parts here. You can create any workflows, but previously these workflows can only be triggered using tagging and using custom fields. So these are custom fields. If it's changed, then it can trigger, or at the bottom here, there are tags. Now, if you want, you can trigger using shortcuts right here. So you need to create some pre-created shortcuts and then have these shortcuts start an automation within a workflow. So let's go and see what that would look like. All right. So let's try this one. What if I want to start workflow feedback form? Let me first send a message to myself. Let's not send it to a real client. Let's send it to myself. Even better if I send the message right from my WhatsApp. I'm going to send it to YesHello. Okay. So once it's sent, I'm going to open up. There you go. All right. So I just sent in test. Okay. Let's pretend that I've had a conversation. Now from the module, from the messaging here, right? The day-to-day, I'm just chatting with this person. I want to trigger an automation that I've created, like a workflow I've created already. So this is where you can use shortcuts. You can use shortcuts because you don't have to wait, by having automated triggers using here or using your tagging at the bottom. You can just go right there and then send a start workflow feedback form. So once I start that, it will trigger, there you go. This is the form. Meaning you can start a chatbot from wherever you want, right? So if a chatbot, you've created a flow to ask for feedback, to start to ask for more info on a product, to if somebody says they're interested and you've got some qualifying questions, you can already create it inside there. You can also update new fields, whatever that you can do inside workflows, you can now trigger using shortcuts. How amazing is that, right? So let me show you how I created this simple form. So what you want to go and do is you want to go to workflows. Then you want to add a workflow. You know what? Just let me open up that workflow that I just created, right? I created what is that? Shortcuts. There you go. This one I just created, 24 March, right? So if I open that and I open in Builder, here's what I created. So under the trigger, I just added shortcut as the trigger. Okay, so first, if I want to edit this, I gotta stop it, obviously. Now I can edit, right? So I can trigger using conversation open or closed. And last time there's only other two, which is when a contact field is updated or a tag is updated. Now we have shortcuts. This is the power of it. Okay, so now I use shortcut as the trigger, and then I click on configure the shortcut. I can even change the icon if I want to. And then name the shortcut. I can even, have the shortcut field, but this is a bit more advanced. Don't worry about that. Name the shortcut and then describe it. So now under here, I added a plus, and then what I did was I added ask a question, but you can do other things. You can trigger a shortcut and then send a message, trigger a shortcut and assign to someone, or branch it out, or add, information in the field, or update tags. And of course, if you add context and you add tags, you can trigger other automations. But what I'm saying is here, you can now create custom shortcuts, custom triggers to start automations and chatbot conversations. That's very, very powerful. So if you already know how to create workflows, how to create chatbots, and you're thinking how to get the chatbot to start manually from a specific spot with a specific client, shortcuts is the way to use it. All right. So if you go back to the messages again, how to do it is very, very simple. It is to just go and click on shortcuts and pick the shortcut that you want to use. Simple as that. All right, very cool. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so those are shortcuts. You can read more about it here. How to create it. Simple as pie. All right, next is trigger variables from conversation closed trigger. So just now I showed you that there are a few triggers. One of the other triggers is conversation closed. So let's see what this means. Say you want to regularly send conversation data to your own data warehouse. So you got a data warehouse, a database somewhere, and when a conversation closes, you want to send the data there. So exporting data manually from reports module is very time consuming. To ease the workload, you can now use trigger variables. Trigger variables are variables that are tied to a specific trigger. In this case, we've added them to the conversation close trigger. So under trigger, choose a trigger that will start this workflow from your context. So we can have, look at that, trigger variables. So trigger conditions. So if you're doing whatever trigger, you can add the variables that will be included inside it, right? What are all the data that you want to be included in that trigger? So you can see here there's a lot of triggers conversation, open, close time, and all those things, right? So here's a list of trigger variables that are now available for the closed conversation trigger. They reflect data related to the conversation that has been closed. Meaning, if I am chatting with someone, like this person here, and I close this conversation, I will have information on how long the conversation took, who was the person, like I mentioned here, right? Open time, open by source, close time, all this information. But last time, you have to import it from another spot, right? So you got to previously go to data export and then export all the data. But now you don't have to, because if you go to workflows and then let's go and open up the one that we did just now. Now, based on a specific trigger, which is this one, let's do a different one, conversation close trigger. Okay, I can now add trigger variables. What do I want to include inside here? There you go. These are all the conversation data that will be inside this trigger, right? So whenever a conversation closes, this is all the data, and then you can do other things, send it over to somewhere, to send into a database, whatever you want to do. Okay, and of course you can add the trigger conditions. This trigger conditions is similar as the last time. What is new is now every time you close a conversation, you can set it up so that you connect your database and send all this information there right away. And there are many other use cases that you can come up with. Okay, that's very, very cool. Very, very cool. Next, new workflow branch conditions, time since last outgoing message, and assignee status. So we have time since last outgoing message, and we have also assignee status. So what does it mean? So when you log in feature request, you aren't just sending out wishes into a void. We hear you. Oh yeah, this is just a block. So similar to time since last incoming message, we now have time since last outgoing message. Yes, you can incorporate this into workflow to create an action based on the time since you last sent the message. So now the control is with you. Instead of last time, we only had time since last incoming message. So the control is always over there with them. But now we can say, okay, I'll send this last 2 days, and I can set, okay, if it's 2 days, then send this next thing. Okay, so basically you can do a branch now, and one of the conditions is time since I last sent a message. Okay, that's one. And also the assignee status. Assignee status is either online or offline. Assignee is your team member, right? So if a team member is online, do what? If it's offline, do what? Okay, so let's go back inside there just now. Like we did was shortcuts. Okay. All right. So at the bottom here, if success, then you can do a branch. So this branch, so if they answer the question, then if it's answered already, then it'll go to success. Then we want to add a branch. So select category. There are now 2 new categories. One is the assignee status, which is your team member. So your team member could be if it is a person is online, offline, or busy. 3 only, kan? If you want to know more about this, you can go to our knowledge base and read more about that. Another one is time since last outgoing message, which is new. So we can say if last message, if it is timestamp after a specific date, then do a specific thing. Right? That's very, very cool. Now, basically, this is giving you more advanced features on your automations. Very, very cool tech, guys. All right. So next, here are some minor but mighty tweaks we've made across the platform. Upgraded Vonage Messages API. So if you're a Vonage API user, there's some upgrades, so you can come here and read it. I won't go through the details. Enhanced connection to other email providers, meaning we have SMTP server, Mailjet, Mailgun, and a few others, right? So not just Gmail. Enhanced team member drop down, add edit team in the dialog, right? So you can click and it will open up all the team members. And if you also click on the let me close this. So yes, so if you want to just put an ad right there, all team members should come out. Ad. Oops. Wrong one. So you want the respond, remember, is to the customer. You want to do the yellow color there, and then all your team members will come out like that. Very cool, right? You can also click on the user right there, also will come out. That's so much easier. You don't have to type and type. You can just scroll over and then just click the button. That will be very, very super simple. Okay. And then sound notifications for new contact assigned to me. So if somebody assigns it to you, you will hear a bing. And if you don't like the sound, you can do the notification turn off in your personal settings. So you can go down here and click on your profile and do settings over there. Or you can just right click on the tab that is open up and then mute that site, and then you will not hear that notification. Okay. And many more tiny ones, which we've created. There's a few, but you can go over to this knowledge base and read it. But the biggest one is, of course, the new shortcuts feature, which I think a lot of you techies would love. This you can create awesome chatbots now, right? So that's it from me. My name is Khalif from YesHello. I hope you guys have an awesome Thursday. I hope this helps. If you need any support on any of this, please reach out to our WhatsApp support number. And if you can't reach me, you can reach Derek or Alta. I wish you all the best of luck and best support. I'll see you guys hopefully in the next video. Bye-bye.